Hey friends, my name is Jen and I love cookies. So last summer I was very excited because they brought back Dunkaroos and it was a very exciting moment and I reviewed them and unfortunately they were not quite what I remembered, but it has not stopped me from buying several other Dunkaroos branded things since then. So today I will be rating one of those things. These are Dunkaroos Break and Bake cookies. So they came, if you've ever made break and bake cookies before, you know that they come like in pre-portioned squares. It came with 6 squares and it said it makes 6 big cookies, which this is a big cookie. It did give you the option to make smaller cookies by cutting it into quarters and then have 24 small cookies. But the frosting came in a package like this and I was like, that doesn't seem conducive to dunking. So I made the 6 larger cookies and I just spread the frosting on top. In retrospect, I noticed on the directions it actually does say to just empty this into a bowl. It gave me 2 of these and then dunk, but I still feel like this cookie is pretty soft and I think it would be too soft to effectively dunk. So I don't regret my decision. As I showed earlier, I've just spread the frosting on top here. These are sugar cookies as far as I can tell. I have this one here without the frosting and it is quite soft and squishy here. That's because I did intentionally bake it for the least amount of time because I prefer my cookies soft. I think if I had baked it longer, maybe it would have been more conducive to dunking. I don't know. We're not gonna find out though because I don't care. I already did it my way and I'm committed. I would say these are standard break and bake cookie size. The frosting is, so one of the other Dunkaroos things that I have bought is Dunkaroos frosting. And I can tell you with 99% certainty that that is exactly the same as Betty Crocker rainbow pieces, I think is what it was branded as before frosting. Nothing's changed, they just wrote Dunkaroos on the front instead. You can see it's got, oh, rainbow chip, that's what it is. Betty Crocker rainbow chip frosting. You can see it's got these little rainbow chip sprinkly things in here. They are like chocolate chip shaped, which you can't tell from looking at this cookie, but that's the shape they are normally. And then I think it's just a regular sugar cookie. So I have both of these here, one frosted and unfrosted, because I wanted the ability to try the cookie without the frosting first. Not first. I wanted the ability to try the cookie without the frosting, but I think I want to try it with the frosting first and see how I feel. So that's what I'm gonna do. So despite my intentionally somewhat underbaking it, I mean, you can see the underside of this cookie. It is not light golden brown. It still ended up a tad crispy around the edges, and then the center is chewy, but not in a great way. In kind of a weird way that I wouldn't expect a cookie to be. I didn't fully wait for the cookies to cool before I dumped the frosting on here. That was probably a mistake because you can tell the frosting is a bit melty. Maybe you can't tell. Oop, there, yeah, that shininess. That's not normal. That's because I didn't wait for it to cool down. And I almost feel like I eat this frosting with a spoon. In fact, I have some sitting in my refrigerator right now. I ate it yesterday. And it feels less flavorful on this cookie than it feels on its own. And I'm confused about why. I think part of it may be the heat. It does taste a bit like oilier than usual, which isn't that appealing. It has palm oil in it and high fructose corn syrup as opposed to butter. Oh, and coconut oil. Lots of different oils. It tastes more oily than usual. I assume because it's been heated. I don't know why. I'm still confused though. I think it might be that there's too much flavor in the cookie, and so it kind of drowns out the flavor of the frosting. So full transparency, the reason why I was eating this frosting yesterday is that I found Dunkaroos frosting, and I bought Girl Scout shortbread cookies, and I've been dunking my Girl Scout shortbread cookies into my Dunkaroos frosting. That's really good. This, not so good. I think usually in sugar cookies like this, sometimes they'll put like almond extract. It doesn't list specifically what artificial flavors they've added, but if I had to guess, it's probably that. I just feel like there's a hint of something in the sugar cookie that I don't love, and it's kind of overpowering the frosting. So I can't really taste that. I just taste the sugar cookie, and I don't love the sugar cookie. So I will say, I really expected this to be overwhelmingly sweet, because I thought the sugar cookie would be really sweet, and I thought that the frosting would be really sweet, and it would all together add to too much. And now that I'm saying that, I do feel a lot of like sweet residue in my mouth, but biting into it isn't anywhere near as sweet as I expected. So I'm actually gonna pause for a moment, take advantage of the fact that I did save this normal cookie, and see how sweet this is, because I'm wondering if this is less sweet and it's helping balance out the frosting. Yep, that's 100% the case. It's honestly kind of bland. I had high hopes for this. If you missed my Dunkaroos review, the reason that they were disappointing is that the cookies themselves kind of tasted like cardboard. This doesn't taste like cardboard, but it is bland. It's like not worth eating. It's just like, it's not bad, it's just like aggressively not good. And it's just like, I don't know why I would eat it, because there's something about it that's good. So I did finish eating the rest of the frosted cookie before I stood up here. And as the frosting had a chance to cool back to room temperature, it did get less oily, which I would say was an improvement. So I'll give it that. That was definitely my fault. When it's room temperature, the frosting is fine. Overall though, I found this to be another disappointing experience. I don't know if I'm just like too picky now for break and bake cookies. Maybe I've sophisticated my tastes. I don't think that's a word. I'm gonna make it. That's a thing that makes sense in English now. Too much to appreciate these, but it's just like, it just wasn't very good. I would say if you want Dunkaroos, buy the Dunkaroos frosting or the rainbow chip frosting if you can't find Dunkaroos. Dunk in some like hard sugar shortbread cookies. The Girl Scout shortbread cookies were a great choice. Go with that. These just weren't particularly good. I just have the, what I'm assuming is almond extract flavor sitting in my mouth now, and it's like flat. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. I'm disappointed. These don't have the nostalgia factor that Dunkaroos, the original, have that made me rate those higher. So I think I'm gonna go with like a 4.2 on these. All right, so those were Dunkaroos break and bake cookies. The good news is these are limited edition, and I've had them long enough that you might not be able to buy them anymore. So you're not missing out. If you missed the limited edition run, it's okay. They weren't worth it. Dunking cookies and frosting though, it's definitely still worth it. If you like watching me talk about cookies, please like, comment, and or subscribe below. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day and eat more cookies.